Hey guys, it's Riss here. Ever since Valko's reveal, I've had one question stuck in my head. What exactly is Valko hunting? Because the more I look at his trailer, his official profile, Fair Knight's Edge, and even clues hidden throughout the main story, the less I think Valko is being introduced as a simple tech chairman. Instead, I think he may be connected to one of the craziest mysteries in Loveanddeepspace itself. And the deeper I dig, the more I keep coming back to one idea. What if Valko is the observer, the watcher, the one who has been quietly watching everything from the shadows long before we ever knew his name? What's funny is that this theory actually reminds me of something I said weeks ago. I said that our next love interest would be some mysterious tech genius who would eventually show up and start revealing how this entire world really works. Someone connected to the systems running behind the scenes. Someone who knows far more than the rest of the lads or will actually tell us the truth. Back then, the name that came to mind was Sawyer from Lincoln Online. The character who always seemed strangely aware of how the world functioned. The character connected to observation, data, systems, and information. Now, after Valko's reveal, I can't help but wonder if I was looking in the right direction, but the name changed. What if Sawyer and Valko are connected? What if Sawyer was hinting at the role Valko would eventually fill? Or, and this is where the rabbit hole really starts, what if Sawyer was Valko all along? Now that's a theory for another video. But let's focus on what we actually know. When you look at Valko's trailer, a very specific pattern starts appearing. Eyes, watching, tracking, following paths, hunting. Everything surrounding Valko seems connected to observation. Even his dialogue focuses on watching. He's talking about following, remembering, and observing, and honestly, if you think the other lads' boys are stalkers, Valko might take the crown. This man isn't just watching MC. He appears in just about everyone's stories. Silas's, Caleb's, Zane's, Raphael's, he's watching everybody. The way he speaks makes it sound less like he's participating in the hunt and more like he's studying it, like he's observing people moving through a path he's already seen before. And that's what caught my attention. Because observation has always been one of the strangest recurring themes in Loveanddeepspace. Long before Valko ever appeared, we've had mysterious eyes, unseen watchers, hidden observers. Let's start with something that happened long before Valko was announced. Back in the main story during Trap, MC encounters a mysterious eye.
There's a price to pay when a wish is granted. Will you be the hunter or the hunted tonight?
And immediately afterward, MC recognizes the presence. She says, "It's that eye again." That line is incredibly important. So, the theme of observation is where Fair Knight's Edge becomes important. At first glance, Fair Knight's Edge looks like a story about a dangerous operation involving Eon Core, but when you really examine what's happening, the story focuses on something else entirely. Observation, monitoring, investigation, people gathering information from the shadows rather than directly participating. So the story talks about Eon Core, and honestly this may be one of the biggest red flags surrounding Valko. The lore reveals that Eon Core seems to appear out of nowhere. Investigators find no historical records, no written records, no electronic records, nothing. Yet somehow Eon Core is connected to Gaia Research Center, a hidden funding networks, and major technological developments. That alone is suspicious. Then we learn that Valko is Eon Core's chairman. The same company that appears to exist outside normal history. The same company connected to some of the deepest mysteries in the game. He starts feeling like someone positioned very close to the center of the larger narrative. Then Infold gives us perhaps the most important image in Valko's reveal. He's standing on top of a flux nexus. So, flux nexuses are not ordinary machines. They interact with metaflux, protocores, ether cores, wanderer activity, reality distortions. The flux stabilizer technology connected to them can even overlap planes of existence with reality. These aren't simple power plants. They're reality management devices, which raises a question. Why is Valko standing above one? The visual symbolism feels intentional, almost as if Valko exists above the system itself, like someone monitoring the machinery underneath reality. One more thing that I'm going to point out, the 2-hour yesterday mission section. The mysterious speaker immediately stood out to me. The dialogue doesn't feel like someone discovering events for the first time. The speaker sounds detached, professional, observational, almost like a handler receiving information, someone evaluating a situation rather than experiencing it. That feels remarkably similar to Valko's official profile. The tone isn't emotional, it's analytical, the exact kind of perspective you would expect from an observer. And yes, I personally think that's him speaking. Could I be completely wrong? Absolutely. But with all the references to eyes, observation, hunting, tracking, and hidden knowledge, I don't think it's a coincidence that Valko keeps showing up wherever these themes appear. The more information we get about him, the more I start wondering if Valko isn't just another love interest entering the story. What if he's someone who's been watching it from the very beginning? But that's just my theory. I'm going to stop yapping before I accidentally fall down another Valko rabbit hole. If you enjoyed this theory video, make sure to like, follow, and share. And definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments because I love hearing what my fellow lads readers find in the lore. As always, this is Riss, and I'll see you in the next Love and Deep Space deep dive. Bye, guys.